To go ahead and get started then. Minimize this screen. Hopefully all of you can see the blue screen that says Divine Mercy University. If not, raise your hand, please, and let me know. But we'll go ahead and get started. So for those of you who don't know about Divine Mercy University, we were born as a Catholic graduate school of psychology and counseling founded in 1999. And back then, our name was the Institute for the Psychological Sciences. We're dedicated to the scientific study of psychology with a Catholic understanding of the person, marriage, and the family. The university offers a doctoral or a Ph.D. degree in clinical psychology, a doctoral Ph.D. degree in counselor education and supervision, which is what we're here to talk about today, a Master of Science degree in psychology, and a Master of Science in counseling, and then we have a certificate in spiritual direction. I won't go through all of the vision and mission, but the part that's kind of important on the mission side, the university provides students an appropriate academic and educational environment that supports the integration of science, scholarship, and a Catholic Christian understanding of the person through a rigorous, critical, and objective search for truth. It assists the students intellectually, humanly, and professionally as they prepare themselves to respond to their vocation as a mental health professionals or as men and women helping professions. The university's mission also involves dialogue with integrative approach with practitioners, scholars, and cultural leaders, nationally and internationally. And in case you're wondering, we run about 20% international student-wise. So as I mentioned, we're here to talk about the Ph.D. in Counselor Education Supervision program. It's a 90-credit doctoral program that builds on DMU's Master's in Counseling, Clinical Mental Health Counseling program as a foundation, incorporates 30 credits from the program for the 90-credit doctoral program. Students with graduate degrees in counseling or related fields from accredited institutions can transfer up to 30 credits into the Ph.D. program, depending on courses taken in their prior graduate programs. The doctoral program requires an additional 60 credit hours of coursework addressing professional roles in 5 areas: counseling, supervision, teaching, research and scholarship, and leadership and advocacy. Additionally, students are required to complete internship experiences in advanced counseling, supervision, and teaching, and a doctoral dissertation of original research. Students are also required to travel to complete 3 extended weekend residencies in the duration of the program. The residencies are designed as working residencies where students gather to encourage each other, practice skills they are learning, and focus on the completion of their dissertations. The Ph.D. in Counselor Education and Supervision program, its curriculum is aligned with premier industry programmatic standards. Program requirements. So again, transferring in 30 credits from our previous master's degree, what you would have left is the following: 7 core content courses, 3 courses in internships, 2 courses in integration, 3 courses in research, and 17 credits in dissertation research and writing. The program is really set up for a full-time participation. It's also meant to be something that allows you all to continue your day jobs, as they say. It is a rigorous program, but it was designed with working counselors in mind. So the idea is that you don't really need to go anywhere or outside of what you're doing to work on like an internship or these other things. A lot of folks will get it done pretty quick. Some will take longer. As you can see down there, it says degree time limit. You have up to 7 calendar years from the date you start the program. And we have a fall semester, spring semester, and summer semester. Doctoral students must remain continuously enrolled until they've completed all program requirements, including the dissertation. So you do have up to 7 years to complete it. Based on what we know, most folks will get it done between 2.5 and 3.5 years. And the reason that we think that way is, unlike a lot of programs that you go into at a PhD level, you don't wait until the very end to start worrying about what your dissertation is going to be on. At DMU, the director, program director, and the vice president of the global campus decided that ideally everybody should get through this in a pretty quick time, but they moved most of the stuff up front where you're going to work with a dissertation team and your advisor, so they can work on figuring out what your dissertation will be on, and it allows you to build on that throughout the program. So when you get to the end, you're not sitting there trying to figure out, how am I going to write this, dissertation and defend it and everything else, and ideally you're already kind of there. Again, you will have support from a dissertation research and divine. Can't see. You will have a dissertation chair. Where you'll work on research design and methodology courses, library resources, and 3 residencies, as we mentioned earlier. You'll also have folks that you'll have an academic advisor. They'll be working with you. And this is in addition to your instructors. At Divine Mercy University, we're kind of small in our program, and we try to keep it that way, actually. And it allows more interaction with your professors, your chair, your dissertation committee, and so on. As mentioned earlier, there are 3 residencies. They're either 3 days or 4 days. If they're 4 days, they start on Wednesday and they go through Sunday afternoon. And if it's 3 days, you start on Thursday evening through Sunday afternoon. They are at our campus, and we're located in Sterling, Virginia. We're pretty close to Dulles International Airport for anybody that would have to fly in. But if you look up Dulles International Airport or our address, you'll find exactly where we're at. The participation in the residency is mandatory for all students. Since the residency includes group activities, and missing parts would be disruptive for the overall learning environment. Attending the entire time is obligatory to receive credit for the residency. If a student is not able to participate in the residency, they can attend the next scheduled residency. The student will receive an incomplete for the course connected with the residency until the residency is successfully completed. The residencies are as follows. In week 4 of your first year, you'll start out in CS 740, which is the Advanced Seminar on Professional Identity, Legal and Ethical Issues. In week 8 of your second year, you'll take the CES 791 Internship 2, Supervision. And then in week 1, in what would be the third year, or about a half a year, would be the CES 899 Dissertation Research and Writing 5. All right. So if you're interested in applying to the program, there's a couple different things that need to happen. First, after this, if you're interested and you have not already applied, we would set up an interview between yourself and me to walk through the program again. I have several questions that I would need to ask you. I would be able to answer any of your particular questions, and then we'd go from there. If you decide to apply, you would need to have a master's degree in counseling or related mental health field from an institution accredited by an agency recognized by the U.S. Department of Education. Preference will be given to applicants who are professionally credentialed in mental health occupation, clinical or school counseling, marriage and family therapy, social work, psychology, etc. Those accepted without such credentials will need to take the necessary extra courses and internships for those credentials before graduating from the Ph.D. and CES. So basically, you need to be a licensed counselor, psychologist, somebody else like that, and you do need to have your master's. In addition, you would need a graduate degree, cumulative GPA, minimum score 3.0 on GPA on a 4-point scale. Complete the application process, which includes the application for admissions document, and this you would do online. One recommendation form from an academic reference. If you believe you may have trouble obtaining an academic reference, you would just need to contact me and we would talk about your options outside of that. And there's many. We know that there's a lot of folks that are coming into the program that have been out of school for 10, 20, even 30 years. And you know, it would be hard for them to find somebody that knew them way back when. You would also need to submit your official transcripts from all post-secondary institutions, even if a degree was not awarded. Submission of essays is noted in the application for admissions document, and 2 video clips of clinical work, role play, and a teaching/presentation, both a minimum of 20 minutes each. So I get a lot of questions on this. Again, it's 2 videos. One is actually on your clinical work. You can either do as many, most of you are in a practice. If you have work that you filmed, as long as you meet the FERPA and HIPAA standards, you can supply that, or you can do a role play if you feel more comfortable doing that and submit that. And then you would need one on either a teaching session or a presentation. And again, those can be mock as well. But if you already have those items, even if they're 40 minutes, you don't have to cut anything. You just need to give us at least 20 minutes. And I've had several folks that have submitted 45-minute videos, all kinds of different things already. We would need your resume. There is a $55 application fee. And as you can see on here, there's a waiver code. So hopefully you're writing that down. It's CCMMP 1999. Availability for 2 video conference interviews after submission of all application materials. Your first one is actually with me, and that's as soon as you submit the application, just the paper, the first part of the application, we would have a discussion, and then we would talk through how you can work through submitting the rest of your application, which is the videos, the essay, recommendation, all those kind of things. So to get started, you would just need to do the first part, which is online. You go on to divinemercy.edu, and that would then go to academics, and then go to the Ph.D. in Counselor Education and Supervision. You'll see the apply button. Most of the time, you can see it through the whole website. And once you start applying, it's pretty easy to figure out how to move through the process. And then after you finish getting your application completely together, you would do a group interview with other applicants and the CES faculty. And the way that works is you would be part of a group of 4, and you would normally sit with either the program director, program dean, and usually a faculty member. At least 2 of those 3 would be in the interview. And, you know, they're going to obviously ask each one of you questions, but the idea is to get you all to kind of work together a little bit, listen to each other's answers, and then, you know, kind of walk through that. It's a very strong, in my opinion, way of doing a group interview for something like this, because it helps you relax a little bit, and it definitely helps in terms of hearing other folks, their answers and things like that. This is not something the faculty is trying to trip you up on. They're trying to make sure that this makes sense for you. You get your questions answered from them based on, you know, the academic side, and they can understand you better to make sure this is something you're ready to do. There's nobody on here that's international, correct? Okay.
I am Asian, but I am American too. American Asian.
Okay. No, you're fine then. Okay. One question I get asked an awful lot is how can I get a break on tuition? You go online again to divinemercy.edu, you'll find the tuition breakdown is in there. But DMU has spent a lot of time over the last 6-7 years working with all kinds of different institutions to create what we call tuition reduction agreements. So most parishes, not most, there's parishes and dioceses around the country and quite frankly, in other countries where we have tuition reduction agreements. So it knocks off anywhere from, 10 to 20% of your tuition costs. We have articulation agreements with several universities. If you're affiliated with the military, either as a spouse, a dependent, active duty, veteran, whatever, then we do honor pretty much all the military chapters, as I say, plus the Yellow Ribbon program. We also have DMU scholarships. As you can see in the bold red over there, last year we awarded 2.3 million in scholarships. So, we are a nonprofit school. Our vocation is to train, educate, and graduate mental health experts. We're not trying to make $1 million. Again, as a nonprofit, our goal is to make sure we do better than break even every year, and the rest we pass on to our students. We do have Newman School scholarships and CCMA, which is the Catholic Campus Ministry Association scholarships for anybody that's gone to a school. Focus is another one. We have Focus School Scholarship. So just between Newman, Focus, and CCMA, it pretty much covers the bulk of Catholic undergraduate schools and probably another 300 or 400 schools across the country. And each one of those also provides discounts and tuition reduction. If you want to learn more about scholarships, you would go to, again, to divinemercy.edu, find the financial aid area, and underneath the drop down, you'll see scholarships. If any of you are interested in loans and you're interested in applying at Divine Mercy, this is another thing you would need to write down. If you're looking at a federal loan, you would need to fill out the FAFSA, and you would use our school code, which is G38724, which is the number down there in the red. So hopefully, some of you have already worked on that. If not with us, with others, and if this is something you want to do, you'll go from there. So that was a pretty quick down and dirty on the program. Some of the requirements, both about the program and admissions, and if right, so I think we can take everybody off of mute. If anybody has questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. I think we lost one person. Tamika, I think you're already an applicant. I appreciate you showing up.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Fedeline, anything I can answer for you now?
Do you have any, like you said, we could talk with you after this?
Yes. If you go to divinemercy.edu, find our program, you'll find my Calendly link, which is also, let me cover up that weird face. There you go. You can also see the Calendly link right there in red.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
I took a picture to do it. So meaning I need to I need to do an appointment with you to do
yeah,
it?
we need to go through just a quick interview. I just need to, ask you a few questions, make sure I answer any questions you may have, and then if you're interested in the application process, I can tell you how to get started.
Yes, sir. I'm very much interested. So I'll do it.
Okay, very good. All right. Any questions right now that I can answer real quick?
For you, no, not that I am thinking of right now. I will just do it with you later.
Okay, perfect. All right, Tamika, anything from you?
No, I don't have any questions right now.
Okay, excellent. Well, ladies, I appreciate your time. I'm glad to talk with you again, Tamika. And got any questions, give me a yell tomorrow and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Eileen, if you want to go ahead and get on my calendar, I'd love to talk with you as well.
I'm doing it right now, sir. I will just do it because I also have Calendly. But then I'm gonna I'm gonna do this on my own in here. Yes.
All right. All right. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the session for everybody. I appreciate you showing up and listening, and I look forward to talking to you.
Oh, Mr. Brooks, I did have one question. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. What's your question, Tamika?
It was about the transcript. So we would need to submit the transcript directly to the admissions department.
Yeah. So remember when you were loading stuff up, there should be, if you're doing the unofficials, you submit them through that portal. Otherwise, they'll come into the admissions area, yes, and then they'll get forwarded to the registrar. If you have a university that does them electronically, we do accept electronic transcripts as well.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I send it to the correct place.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, ladies. Have a good night.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Sir, I'll
Bye.
do it right now, and then I could see also exactly when is it supposed to, right? Because I'm just doing it right now, the Calendly appointment.
Okay. I'll when we get off, I'll look at it and I'll go ahead and make sure that I click
Yes.
yes to it. Okay.
Yes, I will. I'm just doing it right now. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.